Alright, what we have today here is a 2004 X3 with a 2.5 liter engine. So if you guys have a leak on a BMW engine, so this is like a 2.5, so there's different type of engine. But anyway, there's an oil leak on the bottom of the, you see on the block below, get better light, like below here. See, there's some oil on the bottom of the block. Most likely it would be caused either by the hose that goes up to the valve cover, the crankcase ventilation, so on the top, and it connects on the bottom here is the vent system or the oil separator, depends how you want to call it. So I'm going to be replacing this pipe here, this plastic pipe. Okay, it was broken on the top here, right here. Just a sec. Anyway, it was broken on the top, and I had to separate the bottom because it's very hard to remove that quick connector on the bottom. This is this quick connector here on the bottom. It's very hard to reach, so I had to break it anyway. I had to replace it anyway. So it's very hard to. It's very easy to install, but to remove it without breaking it, it's not an easy task. And so above that oil leak, usually it's the hose on the top here. This is the Vanos system. So there's an oil supply that goes from the oil filter flange right below the oil pressure switch. There's one oil pressure switch there, and there's another one there. So there's two oil pressure switches on this vehicle. But this hose has a tendency to leak either on the fitting here or there. But anyway, you can see that it's kind of wet a little bit. And on the top here is all dry except on the plug, because this connector here was, the hose was broken, so there was some oil, like splashing on this connector. But you see on the top here it's dry, but it's on the block, it's all wet. You can see there's a lot of oil on the bottom. So this particular hose is a common thing to replace. So that hose goes up to this actuator on the top, and it's a flexible hose, and it connects with a banjo fitting just like on the top. So it's basically two banjo fittings. So in order to go and access this, you have to unbolt the power steering container. I remove also this crankcase ventilation, not crankcase ventilation, but this evap valve. It was on this with a connector, so I removed it. And this hose also, that hose that goes from that valve up to under here. There's a right under here. There's a quick connector here on the below the rubber hose for the intake system. So I unplug these connector on the oil pressure switch also to get access. So then I'm gonna replace the hose. Then I'm gonna install that vent tube after that.